Some phases of Jupiter Mahadasha feel like this. I'm not just living life. I feel like I'm growing into a bigger version of myself, in thinking, in courage, in faith. Whenever that kind of expansion starts, I always ask, exactly where is Jupiter sitting in my chart right now? I'm Akash, trying to make astrology simple for you. We've already spoken about Jupiter in the 4th, 8th, and 11th houses. Now let's see what happens when Jupiter is my Mahadasha Lord and sits in the 1st house, me, my body, my personality. The 3rd house, courage, effort, communication. The 9th house, dharma, guru, fortune, higher wisdom. Same Jupiter, 3 very different flavors in daily life. Jupiter in my 1st house. I become bigger, inside and outside. When Jupiter sits in my 1st house, Lagna, and runs my Mahadasha, it's like Guruji has moved into the entrance gate of my life. The 1st house is my body and health, my appearance and aura, my overall approach to life. How this feels in daily life. In this time, I often notice my attitude softens and expands. I become a little more forgiving, a little less reactive. Instead of, why is this happening to me? I start thinking, what can I learn from this? People start seeing me as the wise one in small ways. At family gatherings, someone says, "Arre tu bata, tu thoda sahi sochta hai." At work, juniors or even same-level colleagues ask, "What do you think I should do?" I feel like improving myself, not just my CV. I may start reading more, join a course, get into yoga or some healing practice, or become genuinely curious about spirituality, philosophy, astrology. Typical scene. I'm traveling in a local train or sitting in traffic, and instead of only scrolling reels, I find myself watching long-form content on life, psychology, scriptures, or astrology. I'm literally feeding my Lagna with Jupiter's Gyan. Physically, Jupiter in the 1st can also increase weight. Guruji thoda zyada khilata hai. But also give a more gentle, approachable presence. From a Vedic perspective, this is a powerful placement. Jupiter in Lagna during Mahadasha often pushes me towards become a better version of yourself, kinder, wiser, more ethical, and yes, sometimes a bit broader around the waist. Tiny crumb for later. The exact effect depends on which sign is rising. Jupiter in Sagittarius Lagna versus Virgo Lagna is a totally different story. We'll open that combo game another day. Jupiter in my 3rd house. My courage, communication, and skills level up. Now, imagine Jupiter sitting in my 3rd house and ruling my Mahadasha. The 3rd house is courage and initiative, communication, speaking, writing, social media, teaching, siblings, cousins, neighbors, short travels, daily movement, hands-on skills. Here, Jupiter behaves like a coach for my courage and communication. How this shows up day to day. In this phase, I often feel, I should say what I really think, but in a nice way. I start expressing myself more. In meetings, in family discussions, through messages, posts, maybe even content creation. I get chances to learn or teach a skill. I might join a public speaking program, start a YouTube channel or Insta page, teach juniors or cousins something I know well, write more, emails, articles, notes, scripts. Example, I'm in a team call. Something important is being missed. Earlier I would stay quiet and complain later. In Jupiter in 3rd Mahadasha, I suddenly speak up. Can I share a thought? And I give a balanced, thoughtful point of view. Later, someone messages, "Good you said that. I was also thinking the same." That's Jupiter polishing my voice. With siblings/cousins, this Mahadasha often deepens the bond, creates chances to support or guide each other, or brings one key sibling/cousin closer as a friend and advisor. I may find myself chatting late night with a brother or sister about career, marriage, parents. Less time-pass gossip, more real, let's figure life out conversations. Also, the third is about effort and hustle. Jupiter here doesn't stop my hard work. He makes it wiser. Instead of doing 10 random things, I focus on 2 to 3 skills that can really grow me. Instead of fear-based effort, I act from a place of, let's see what we can create. Tiny crumb for later. Jupiter in the third, combined with certain lagnas, can strongly support careers in teaching, training, sales, writing, media, consulting. We'll zoom into career combos in another segment. Jupiter in my 9th house. Guru in the house of Guru. My fortune and faith wake up. Now we come to one of Jupiter's favorite places, the 9th house. The 9th stands for dharma, my higher path, ethics, what I believe is right, guru, teachers, mentors, guides, father and father figures, long-distance travel, pilgrimage, higher education, blessings, bhagya, fortune. When Jupiter sits in my 9th and runs my Mahadasha, it's like Guru has come home. How this feels in daily life. In this phase, I often notice I meet important teachers, not always in a classroom. It could be a boss who shapes my thinking, a spiritual teacher, a therapist, a book or course that changes my direction. I suddenly want to understand the bigger picture. Questions like, what is my purpose? What is the right direction for my life? What does Dharma mean for me personally? Travel takes on a more meaningful flavor. Not just trips for fun, but a temple visit that touches me deeply, a course or conference in another city, a foreign trip that quietly expands my mind. Imagine this. I visit a spiritual place almost as a tourist. But while sitting quietly there, I feel an unexpected calm. Something inside me says, I want more of this peace in my everyday life. That's Jupiter in the 9th, pressing the Dharma button. Relationships with father or father figures can also get highlighted. Healing old hurt, receiving guidance, or becoming a father figure for someone else. And yes, the 9th is also the house of fortune. With Jupiter here in Mahadasha, good karma often gets activated as right help at the right time, doors opening when I walk with integrity, protection in risky or confusing situations. Not filmy magic, but a very real sense of someone up there is helping me when I try to do the right thing. Tiny crumb for later. Jupiter in the 9th, for certain lagnas, creates extremely strong Raja Yogas and Dharma Yogas, combinations for success with dharmic living. That's pure classical Jyotish territory. We'll go there slowly. Putting these 3 together. So when Jupiter is my Mahadasha Lord and sits in the 1st house, he expands me, my personality, wisdom, and sometimes my waistline. I become more of a guide to myself and others. The 3rd house, he expands my courage, skills, and voice. I start expressing, learning, teaching, and taking brave little steps. The 9th house, he expands my faith, fortune, and guidance, bringing teachers, travels, and a deeper sense of purpose. In all 3, the core Jupiter message is the same. I have come to grow you, in who you are, in what you say and do, and in what you believe about life itself. Once I began seeing these placements this way, Jupiter Mahadasha stopped looking like just good time equals paisa plus marriage, and started looking like a big, beautiful growth arc of self, of courage, of dharma. If you want to see whether Jupiter is sitting in your first, third, or ninth house, and what kind of expansion he's planning in your life, visit astrology.com for instant astrology.